Good morning. Drink your coffee. Welcome to our new podcast, Fighting Duality. Fighting Duality.
Step out of the darkness into the light.
I'm talking about the dog.
I know the world is round.
World brand, and we.
What's up?
What's going on, man? I'm never gonna get over that intro.
Right? Yeah, I was gonna try to work on a new one this week, but I was like, nah, we can let that one play out for a little bit.
Yeah, why not? We're not in any rush.
No, I don't think we're gonna make the Halloween intro though, because
we got like 3 or 4 days till Halloween.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So, it is what it is.
We kind of slacked, but that's kind of on us.
It's been very busy lately.
It has. It definitely has.
Man, I don't even know where to begin.
I don't either. Honestly, I am at a total loss. I'm so scatterbrained today. It's been chaos.
Yeah.
Between everything going on outside of home and birthdays coming up and holidays coming up and
yeah,
just one thing after another.
Yeah. Boy, isn't that the truth? My dog last week, we went to Indiana, and my daughter had called me and said that the dog wasn't doing well. So I had to rush him to the vet, and he ended up having emergency surgery because his intestines rolled.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so here I am babysitting him in the bedroom because he doesn't like to be alone. Which I get it. He's used to playing with bigger dogs, but we can't let him until he fully heals from that. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah. So
We've got a cat that's pushing towards the end of his lifetime, and everybody's worried, so he's now staying in the house full time. That's a trip.
Yeah.
He's always around.
So, have you thought of anything to talk about this evening?
I saw my very first political ad this evening on TV.
Oh, see, you bring up politics, and the first thing I think of is if it says don't, somebody did. My stupid signs, because politics right now are just stupid. So this one comes from a Swedish chainsaw.
All right.
And it's the warning label on it. It says, do not attempt to stop chainsaw with your hands or genitals.
Get out of here. No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Do not attempt to stop with your hands or genitals. I mean, like I said, if it says don't, somebody did. So, to the guy out there with no genitals from the chainsaw,
Dumbass.
what were you thinking?
I'm going to stop this chainsaw. That's what he was thinking.
The wrong kind of wood to be chopping. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You see some of those educational videos on chainsaws, and they're like, this is the do's and don'ts. And I'm like, oh my God. Who in their right mind would just go hacking away with a chainsaw?
Right?
Like it's an axe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know, man. I have figured that would be common sense. Let me put it between my legs, it'll stop.
That's what she said.
Never mind.
Doo-doo-ch.
It won't go too much longer after you put it between your legs.
5 minutes tops. And then it's
And,
nap time.
right? So about your politics. There's
Um,
your episode of the week. If it says "Don't," somebody did. Remember, if you've got a chainsaw, I know it's getting cold outside. You want firewood or whatnot. Don't use your hands or your genitalia.
oh my gosh. So we're sitting there and we're watching Monster Squad, right? 1980s film.
Yeah, 1988,
And
I believe.
yeah.
Scott Nards.
Yeah. So aside from that being politically incorrect, which is great because I haven't seen a movie like that in a long time,
Right.
the political ad, it's we're where we're at, it pops on. It's like, hello, Pennsylvania, it's time to vote. I'm like, oh, cool. The very first political ad I've seen all year.
Really?
Yeah, and it's got like this old man Withers sitting at a bar. He's got his glasses on, his flannel shirt. Doesn't look like Pennsylvania at all, right? He's like, we have two choices when we're going to vote. We have the person that's going to have our back and the person that's going to take us into the future. And then we have Donald Trump. I'm like, oh, God, all right, here we go. What kind of bullshit lies are we going to spread here?
Wow.
I got to see that commercial like 4 or 5 times during the entire TV show that we were watching.
Now, I can't recall any uh, Kamala or Trump ads, but I'm trying to think what it was on. There was one of these streaming services I watched. Like right now, I'm watching a classic. I'm watching Airwolf,
Yes.
and every now and then an ad will come on, but it'll come on from like some other state, some other town, and I'm like,
Pluto TV.
yes, I think it is Pluto,
That's what I was
and
watching on.
I was like, this guy, I don't care. Not even in my area. Okay, so
Right?
yeah, and I approve this message.
Man, me and the wife were talking about 2016 when Trump ran for presidency. She's like, I have a friend. We were friends for years. And then all of a sudden, Donald Trump started running for office. And when he won in 2016, we used to do all sorts of things. We'd go over to her house every Monday and watch TV show. We'd do pumpkins, we'd do whatever.
Right?
And she's like, when Donald Trump won, we went over there, and she's like, I can't believe I'm friends with fucking racists. And
What?
she lost her shit.
Wow.
Like something glitched out in her brain, and she just absolutely lost her damn mind.
Wow.
And then ever since then, it's been, she's been so hateful.
It's
It's
amazing
been
how
ridiculous.
politics can ruin friendships, and I'm like, this is piss ignorant.
Oh,
It really is.
100%.
You know,
100%.
oh, you can't associate with me because I'm voting for this person or that person, and I don't see your views on why you're going for the other person.
Well, they actually have a term for that, and they call it Trump derangement syndrome. It's a legitimate thing.
Is that in the DSM-5?
Yes.
For those of you out there listening that don't know, the DSM-5 is a diagnostic mental health book that's got every diagnosis of mental illness in this book.
Yep.
And there's others, but the DMS5 is the most recent.
Yeah,
So,
it's a legitimate thing, dude. And people,
okay.
they're gonna lose their minds when he gets elected again.
Yeah, well,
Like the amount of implosions that's going to happen, self
the way I look
combustions.
at it is the Consuela Waltz supporters are going to cause. I mean, the world's going to go to shit even
Oh
more.
yeah.
If Trump gets it, the ones that are supporting Kamala are going to make the world do their best to make this world go to shit even more
Well,
because they're not going to be
but
happy that Trump got it.
so here's the main difference between the two, though. If Kamala Harris and Waltz win, we're going to be pissed broke and unhappy. Yeah. If Trump wins, we'll actually have money in our pockets and they'll be unhappy.
Yeah, right.
So, me personally, I would prefer to have my own money.
Right.
Because right now, living paycheck to paycheck and having to borrow money in between
I just got to
just
throw
ain't
this
fucking
out there
doing
real
it.
quick. I grew up middle class. That's all I'm going to say. It's like I grew up middle class. So don't blame me for my vote because I grew up middle class. That's all I keep hearing. I grew up middle class. I grew up middle class.
You want to hear a kicker? And I haven't told anybody this. So, everybody listening to our podcast and you, this is the first for everybody. I am 4 months away from being 40 years old, and I just registered to vote for this election.
Really?
Yeah, it tells you how much I don't give a shit about politics.
Oh man, man.
Yeah,
See,
that tells you how much I give a crap
wait a
about
minute.
politics now.
Wait a minute. That can't be true.
That is true.
When you turned 18, did you not have to go down and register for a selective service?
Nope.
Are you shitting me? Holy crap.
I aged out too.
Well, I mean, I'm aged out now,
Yeah.
but the yeah, that was when you turned 18, you went down and you had to, I had to. And at that time, you were registered to vote, which I looked forward to it. I wanted to go vote.
What's funny is I wanted to join the service, but they wouldn't take me because of certain issues.
Yeah. They
And not mental
either.
issues. I know what everybody's fucking thinking.
You wanted to tell, and they weren't asking.
Not that kind of issue either, dick. They're like, you have a slight weight problem. I'm like, yeah, man, I used to tackle bear claws 2 at a time. They get stuck right here.
We're not talking about the Sasquatch bear claws.
That's Tommy Boy reference for you, those of you that don't have a clue what comedy is.
Dude, nowadays people get offended with comedy. So, with me sitting here babysitting my dog and watching TV, I've been watching the classics.
Yeah.
Like right now, I've got Airwolf on. I watched an old classic Magnum PI episode earlier. Watched Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
And I watched Down Periscope.
Love Down Periscope.
Yes.
I watched that the other day too.
Yes. So this is going to be a classic week. Of course, every now and then I'll turn on something like Airwolf because I love the classics. I watched Walker Texas Ranger the other day.
Speaking of Walker Texas Ranger,
he won a NASCAR race once by running.
we saw his doppelganger here in town.
Are you sure it was his doppelganger and not him?
Dude, it was so close I wasn't sure.
Because he's from Ryan, Oklahoma.
Really?
And they used to have a family reunion down around Weber's Falls every year.
It very well may have been him. My
Yeah.
wife said she saw him at Quick Trip, and she was like, "Holy shit!"
Well,
She's like, "I thought I saw Chuck Norris." I was like, well, "I seen him too."
he gave them endorsements when they came out with the Snackles.
Really?
Yeah, they had his picture on with the Snackles.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and plastered on the side of the dang Quick Trip, and oh yeah. So I mean,
It very well could have been him.
nothing surprises me anymore.
Speaking of classics and Chuck Norris, sidekicks.
Oh, come on. I tell you what, my all-time favorite Chuck Norris movie is Lone Wolf McQuade.
That's a good one. That's a
That
really
is
good
my
one.
all-time favorite. As a matter of fact, I saw it a while ago before I selected Airwolf, and it was a toss between that and Airwolf, and I thought, well, I can watch an episode of Airwolf before we get started with this, before I can. Otherwise, I'd have to stop Lone Wolf McQuade, and you just don't want to interrupt a Chuck Norris movie. You might get your ass kicked.
Through the TV screen.
Right? Yeah.
Oh man, have you heard anything from out of North Carolina?
In reference to?
FEMA.
I have not. Well, so I take that back. I've heard some people say that there's no money for FEMA to be given. I've heard that FEMA's been given maybe $750, and then I've heard that it's an act of Congress to get money out of FEMA.
So, I mean, you're right on all aspects. So, what happened apparently is each state allocates a certain amount of money towards FEMA for
Well,
disasters.
now wait a minute. How is it each state when FEMA is federal? Because
Each state,
I did hear that we sent too much money to Ukraine or Israel, and that's why FEMA don't have no money.
I'm just going off of what I heard.
Okay.
But each state allocates a certain amount of money for their state for disaster awareness and preparedness and all that, right?
Right.
FEMA has their own money, and that's how they're giving out, the $750. FEMA's piss broke.
Right.
We all know that because, like you said, Ukraine's got the money.
Yeah.
Well,
Other countries are getting our money.
yeah. We're not
And
even
I
going to touch that one.
and just before we go any further, I don't have a problem with helping out a country that needs it. But in the same sense, you have to look out for your own people first.
Oh, 100%.
You know, that's like, when my kids were little, I got to feed my kids before I help somebody else that really needs it.
Yeah. Shit, my
You
kids
know,
still eat before I do.
right?
They're damn near
Absolutely.
grown.
Yeah, exactly.
But so North Carolina blew their budget on everything that's going on. FEMA's piss broke. And these people, they're like, yeah, we'll give you $750, but you have to provide all this documentation, fill out these forms, on the internet, this, that, and the other. And these people are going to the FEMA places, and FEMA is helping them fill these papers out. The problem is if they make a typo or anything like that, it gets kicked. So they don't even get the money. It's like 1 out of every 150 people get money because all their documentation's washed away. They don't have anything.
Yeah. No,
So
I hadn't heard anything. And really, I've been so sick and tired of hearing about the back and forth between Trump and Harris, and
oh man, you and me both.
you know what? I'm mentally exhausted from all the politics this year.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't even want to talk about it. because we've had these natural disasters. Nobody's getting help. Well, we know. What did you all expect? Look at our administration we got now.
Mm.
Did you really expect anything to happen?
The vacation administration.
Yeah. So I'm exhausted. We've got what, 2 weeks left before election?
Yeah, like 8 days, 10 days.
Yeah, not even 2 weeks. A week and a half, a week. Bring it. Let's get it done and over with.
Right.
So,
We're either
you
going
know,
to collapse as a country or we're going to prosper. I mean, that's.
which is another thing that has, and I don't know if we did our podcast about the time this happened or not. We might have mentioned it on our last podcast, but the guy in Oklahoma City that got picked up for terroristic plans on January 6th or Election Day.
No, we didn't.
You didn't hear about that? The
No.
Middle Eastern out of Oklahoma City that had plans for a big terrorist attack.
No. What the hell?
Yeah, yep. They foiled his plans. They picked one guy up, so I'm not for certain that there's not more out there. So yeah, on election day, and I can't remember if it was election places or churches, or I think it's election. It might have been both. I know there's been a heightened uh, security for churches too.
Well, what the fuck did they think was going to happen was letting all these random people in just willy nilly?
Yeah, I guess he came in from the southern border.
I'm all for letting people in the proper way,
Oh, I am
you know,
too.
but
I
they're
mean,
just letting anybody in.
well, and this guy, if I'm not mistaken, was ISIS. He's a Middle Eastern guy.
That sounds about right.
I would have to pull up and let me see if I can Google it real quick because I can't remember the details. I just know he was picked up in Oklahoma City, and I was like, ugh, that's a little close to home,
Yeah, a little bit.
you know. Uh,
I can't believe I hadn't heard anything about that.
I know. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, I know. I've been checking out. I haven't been on the internet a whole lot doing any kind of research or anything like that in the last couple weeks.
um, Afghan
Because,
national
like you,
arrested. Yep, he was arrested for plotting an election day terrorist attack in the name of ISIS.
holy shit.
Um, let's see. Yep. So it was for election day. So I wonder if he's got any more out there that just haven't been caught yet.
Oh, I'm sure. If there's one, there's more. They're like roaches.
Um, his name was Tahiti, and I guess he had a kid with him.
Oh, no.
FBI assets at a rural location in Western District of Oklahoma purchased, received, and took possession of two AK-47 assault rifles, 10 magazines, 500 rounds of ammo. Upon receipt of the rifles and ammunition, Tahiti and the juvenile were arrested.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. He allegedly indicated that his attack was planned for Election Day, and in a post-arrest interview, he allegedly confirmed the attack was planned for Election Day, targeting large gatherings of people, during which he and the juvenile were expected to die as martyrs.
Go figure.
Yep. Oh, he only gets 15 years.
Yeah, that's not a shocker.
Oh, his is 20 years, and then, of course, the firearm charge is 15 years. Yeah, he ain't gonna be in there very long, and then he'll be up to another damn. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I didn't hear about the juvenile, but that came from the Department of Justice that I just read, or yeah, what was it? Office of Public Affairs. Yeah, U.S. Department of Justice.
Our justice system is so screwed up. You know, you get less time for rape than you do for shooting for murder.
Well, I mean, I
I
try.
say
You know
I
what?
say that, and I better put it in context for everybody. Somebody breaks into your house and you shoot them, and you're in the wrong. You go to prison for longer than you would if you just pulled down your pants and said, "Come here, big boy." Yeah,
Wow, that escalated quickly.
yeah. So
That escalated.
let me tell you, you're gonna break into my house. It's gonna be a fun time.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know what you're looking for, but I'll help you find it because I don't know where it's at either.
Yeah, my house is probably one of the houses that you probably chose wrong on.
Yeah. So,
But there's a lot of them in this neighborhood. This neighborhood is crazy, bro. We got a guy that stands out in his front yard. Apparently, he does podcasts as well and like
really,
live streams. Yeah, dude's fully blown off his rocker. My window in my office faces this dude's driveway.
well, I mean, you never know if he's fully blown off his rocker. That might be interesting content.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but
I mean, what's it? Well, no, let's not do that.
I don't know. My wife does because he added her on Facebook and all kinds of other stuff.
Wow.
But I'm telling you, this dude's parents are like 90 years old, and he stands out in the driveway and screams and cusses and yells at his parents. And his girlfriend has tried to run him over a few times while he's standing in the middle of the street screaming at the top of his lungs.
Now, is this during the podcast?
I don't know.
I mean, we might be able to. That's some competition.
We've had a yard sale, and this guy comes over and he's like, "Hey, man, you got any cool things over here?" I was like, "I don't know. It's all shit to me.
I mean,
Take what you want and go away."
one man's junk's another man's treasure.
Dude, I set out a computer chair. It was all ripped apart because of the cats. They wanted to sit up and claw it up, and he come over and he's like, "Man, how much you want for this chair?" I was like, "Bro, for you can have the chair, man. Have at it.
Right?
Just get off my lawn."
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh man, I tell you, but I mean, we might be able to come up with some content. We might be able to stage a running over of an automobile. Might be able to get a hold of some movie people.
Man, all I gotta do is set my phone up on any given day. This dude's out there screaming and hollering and acting a damn fool. So
Wouldn't it be something to use his content for our content and just go live and watch him and be like, that's
here's
wrong.
your
We're not going to do
views.
that. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. If
We
we're going to come
might.
up with our own stuff,
Well, I
then
mean,
that's it.
technically, that is our own stuff. We're filming him acting batshit crazy.
Well, I mean, there's that. There's
It's
that. But I know we would have to get his consent and all that good shit before we. I mean, he is out in public.
yeah,
I mean, there's that.
it's his own damn fault. Should have
Yeah.
got on his meds.
Wow, that is
Uh,
something else.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's hilarious.
You
He'll
know,
be out there screaming and hollering. I'll be like, "Dude, shut the fuck up." He's like, "Fuck you." Reminds me of, "Hey, what's your name?"
what's your
"Tony." "Fuck you, Tony. What's your name?"
name? Ezekiel.
Hey, fuck you, Ezekiel.
Don't you dare say it. Don't you dare. Oh man. So
Oh,
that's crazy. Well, you got any plans coming up for the week?
work.
Yeah, me too.
They've got my schedule so jacked. Monday morning, I'm on the schedule to go in at 5 a.m. But they're like, just come on in at 6 and we'll figure it out from there because they don't know where they want to put me.
Don't you have a set route?
No,
Why?
I don't. Apparently, I'm a floater.
That's stupid.
Yeah,
And you've been there how long?
a year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
yeah. I don't know if we're gonna make it another month. Hopefully not, because I've got some feelers out.
Do you?
Yeah, I've got
Good.
I'm waiting to hear back from a place that the hours are overnight, but it's 4 on, 3 off, 3 on, 4 off.
Like mine.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
See? Then
work
you can't
Wednesday
bitch
through
no more.
Saturday. Shut up, fuck off.
Oh, it'd be opposite end of the week, but I mean, then you can't bitch. Then you'll be on a normal schedule.
I know.
Yeah. No. This.
I'm a night owl, and I hate having to get up as early as I do.
Yeah. No, I can't do it. Can't do it. Like
But the
right
pay
now.
is
I mean, I could
so
go
much
to
better
bed.
too.
I mean, I can take a pawpaw nap anytime.
That's what I did on the couch earlier. I took a pawpaw nap.
Right? I mean, I don't discriminate in time.
No, shit, no.
As long as I'm
Especially
at
since
home.
there's the older you get, the less there is of it. So of course you're gonna not discriminate.
And then ask me if I give a shit.
Nope.
Exactly.
I
I
got to
have
see,
earned those pawpaw naps.
man, I got to see my grandbaby, one of my grandbabies tonight,
Yep.
and she was cute as a button, but she did not want to have anything to do with Pawpaw.
Well, it happens.
She was like, I don't know about you, dude. She was giving me that wizard stare, where she sticks her hands out and she's kind of leaning back, eyeballing me
Yeah.
with her little wobbly head. Cute as a button, though.
That's awesome. I had two of my grands over last night and today, so but I've been babysitting the dog, so I didn't get to spend too much time with them.
I went and saw my grandson yesterday at his house, and he's getting to the point where he's starting to talk a lot more.
Nice.
So I let him out of his room. He's like, "Thanks, Papa." He runs over. He goes, "High five." I gave him a high five. He goes, "Pound it." I was like, I gave him pound it, and he's like, "Thank you," and takes off running. He's like, "Here, kitty, 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 kitty," and he's running down the
Oh
hall.
no. Oh
Yeah.
no.
So he's a trip, dude. He's so cool.
You know, he could have grabbed that cat by the tail, slung him across the room, and we'd have never thought he'd done anything wrong.
For not even being 3 years old, the kid's got a freaking arm.
Nice.
I've watched him almost knock out my 16-year-old with a pillow.
That's funny.
It's hilarious because he's
That's
got a
funny.
cannon for an arm. But his parents don't want to put him in athletics. I understand that. Whatever.
Yeah.
My dude likes trucks. So eventually I'm going to go up to the firehouse and be like, "Look, can my little guy get up there on the fire truck?"
Oh yeah, they'll let him.
I know.
Yeah.
I just got to get him
So
away from his parents.
so I know we've been kind of rambling on today, but we did mention in the last episode it is October. It is Halloween.
Oh.
So I did a little research um, on Jack the Ripper.
Nice.
Um, so, as most people, or maybe they don't, I didn't realize it was back in the 1800s. 1888 is when a serial killer struck the White Castle district. White Castle? I believe it was White Castle. You know, like the little hamburgers.
Things are horrible.
Well, I heard if you actually go to the restaurant, they're good, but they'll make you shit your brains out. That's
That's
what I
why
hear.
they're horrible.
But I hear they're good. If you need a good colon cleansing, there you go. So, anyways, serial killer in the White Castle district of London, England. So his identity, or her identity, back then probably a he,
Probably, but it could have been a disgruntled prostitute.
Could have been her. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was mainly prostitutes that was being killed. I could be wrong. So, a letter was sent to the police department, but they believe that the letter could have been a hoax. And to this day, they still don't know who Jack the Ripper was. But I do remember seeing a thing here a while back that, and you know how some TV shows are just for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah.
And they were trying to say that Jack the Ripper was an animal.
What?
Some kind of a creature, and he could jump to get away from the police. And the first thing I thought of when I saw that was Wonder Woman, the old Linda Carter Wonder Woman, where she jumps, bounds, leaps and bounds. And I thought, no.
She's badass on a skateboard.
Right. And I thought, no, I'm not buying it. So I'm going to go with the whole Jack the Ripper is a person. It's a serial killer. And I don't quite know where they got the name Jack the Ripper. I haven't got that far in my readings.
Interesting. Could have been a werewolf.
Nah, I'm going with a human.
Could have been a werewolf.
You watch too many movies.
Yeah, I do.
American Werewolf in London. No, this is a dude.
Monster Squad.
He's a grown man. He's got a beard.
Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Yeah, right. So, or if we're gonna go down that road, it could be a Squatch, like
Could
the
be.
Wood Booger.
The Wood Booger.
Yes, like the Wood Booger.
The skunk ape.
Yeah, well, I don't think the skunk ape has the reputation that the Wood Booger does.
I mean, just depends on where you go, I guess.
I mean, there's sightings of him, but yet Wood Booger has the reputation of snatching people and killing them.
True.
So
I saw, I've been on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, and there's a lot of talk about werewolves. And apparently there is, because I remember the book. I remember reading the book, The Wolf of Bray Road.
Right.
I want to say that it's like New Hampshire or some stupid shit like that way up north. But I came across that on social media, and I was like, man, that sounds eerily familiar. I think I've read that before. But apparently this is like something that's been told throughout time for 100+ years. Apparently these people really think that there's a werewolf out there running around on Bray Road. So even though we're going out of October into November, I'm going to actually do a little bit more research and see if I can't find something out about that, because that's really interesting to me.
Right.
That an entire community is like, werewolf. It's not just one person here, one person there. It's an entire community.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Well, next time we do this, we might have a new president.
Very true.
We will have a new president because Biden's not running again. So
you'll be able to tell by the sounds of our voices who won and who didn't.
Right.
Because either it'll be extremely happy, yay, I'm fixing to have money in my pocket, or it's going to be, well, here come the prison camps.
Yeah.
Take that however you want. It could go either way depending on who you're voting for.
Well, maybe our next episode will be on election night.
Yeah.
Or the night after. Let's see, Tuesday. I got to work on Tuesday, so
yeah,
it might
me
not
too.
work out. So, but
I won't be up late at all that night.
No, me either.
I'm going to wake up to, well, the election was stolen again. either way.
But I work overnight, so I won't be able to let you.
Shut up.
So, but yeah. Well, what is this? Episode 5, 6?
6, I think.
Wow.
I uploaded a bunch of our old stuff off of the other 2 podcasts that we had to get rid of the names on.
Oh, okay.
So it'll just blend in with, with those, but I'll look and double check before I actually put the title on there.
I got you.
But on Spotify podcasts and YouTube, they're all on there. So
Oh, we're on podcast now too?
yeah, Spotify.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Which it's extremely easy to upload to Spotify.
Tell you what, I'm missing summer already.
Nope, not me. That shit's for the birds. I like having my windows open when it feels like this outside. I didn't run the AC one time today, and it's nice.
I mean, there's that too.
My electric bill's going to go down for the first time in 5 months.
So, speaking of electric bills, mine usually runs, I don't know, $300-400. Yeah. So I went to pay it yesterday, and when I called them up, they said, "Oh, it's $122." I said, "I ain't asking no questions. Just take my money. We're done."
Right.
I said, "I know their system's wrong because my bill said 3 something." So, I mean,
this is on y'all, not me. You told me. I've got voice confirmation.
exactly. So, but yeah. Well, until next time, I don't have anything else. Do you?
No. Like we always tell you, click like and subscribe and comment if you have anything you want us to talk about or anything like that.
Yeah.
Fightingduality@gmail.com.
Yep. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers, or whatever.
Yeah, get us out there, Jesus. We've got like 6 new followers, which is great.
Yeah.
And I know other people are listening because I can see the analytics on YouTube and on Spotify. People just aren't subscribing.
Good.
So,
Well, I mean, I'm saying good is I'm glad people are listening, but they need to remember to click subscribe.
yeah, definitely.
So, get on there, give it a good old tap, subscribe, hit that notification thingy.
Hit the bell.
And, yeah, ring the bell.
Ding, ding.
And, well, until next time, y'all.
Absolutely.
We'll have a new
president. We may get another one in before then, but I doubt
it. Well, oh, all right, man. Well, all right. I will talk to you next week, bud.
All right, brother. Good morning. Drink your coffee. Welcome to our new podcast, Fighting Duality. Fighting Duality.
Step out of the darkness into the light.
I'm talking about the dog.
I know the world is round.
World brand, and we